What's up, folks? Checking in. Just almost finished a nice little run. Going to talk about perspective, again, how to navigate moving forward in training and seasonality, maybe a couple other things. So first off, I was really focused on running last year. I didn't totally plateau, but I did feel like I hit a bit of a plateau. And also I just switched gears. I got back in the weight room. I missed deadlifting. I never really did a lot of back squats. I started picking up back squats, a couple other things. But yeah, so you may have noticed I was running a lot last year, not so much this year. The other thing is I was enjoying Strava. I just logged this one on Strava, but I switched to treadmill running for a couple of reasons. First off, I don't like to have a mindset about things, so I used to kind of not like treadmills, and I was like, you know what, let me not have a negative mindset about it. Let me embrace treadmills. And treadmill was actually kind of awesome. It was super convenient, and one of my favorite things about the treadmill is the ability to adjust the intensity depending how I feel that day. You know, sometimes when you go out on a long run, you're totally committed. With the treadmill, I was able to kind of hop on a little run in between appointments and get those miles in. And then there's also a seasonality. You know, I really do enjoy running in the winter, but you really need the right gear, and I didn't have the right gear. So I segued a little bit. I switched gears to weight training. I switched gears to, right now I'm honestly focused on just kettlebell snatches. But my shoulder was feeling a little sore today, and I had some gas to burn, so I went on a long run. Also, running season is back. I have a couple students and many others who are, they have races this weekend, marathons, the Hamburg Marathon. I know there's some half marathons. I think the Brooklyn half. Yes, the Brooklyn half, the other Brooklyn half is this weekend. So in solidarity, and I just wanted to test myself a little bit. So I just did about 10.5 miles. I got another about half mile to go to get home. Honestly, I foolishly let myself run out of water, but it's all good. Another day in the office. But yeah, I want to talk about a little bit of perspective, right? So again, perspective is a huge thing for me in general. I may have told you this story. You know, my mom told me when I was a kid about how there's a rock garden in Japan with 9 rocks, and no matter where you stood in the garden, you couldn't see all the rocks. And it was just basically a lesson in perspective. And so I try to have perspective. It's helped me a lot in life, but when it comes to kind of perspective on ourselves, sometimes it's important to step back, have that bird's eye view. One thing I've been doing in meditation is kind of stepping back and seeing myself, my existence through my sphere of awareness. And it's pretty interesting to feel your connection with stuff, you know, bigger on the other side of the earth, on the other side of the universe. But more specifically, right? So perspective in training. One of the things about running, you know, ideally you find this place where you kind of fall in love with it. Many people hate it. For a lot of us, it's a love-hate. But ideally, you find this healthy place of love with running. And the thing, though, is that running doesn't necessarily get easier, right? As you get stronger, as your pace increases, you may find that you're just in the suck, especially if you're training for a goal, like getting your mile time down or your run time down. You're always just at that limit, and it always seems to kind of suck, right? But with perspective, not only am I able to kind of pace myself accordingly, I mean, that's more experience, but I look back on some of my runs in the past, and although it may feel just as sucky, I'm doing more. You know, there are runs where I look back on myself and I pass these checkpoints on my run, and I'm like, man, I was really, you know, sucking wind at that point, and now I'm kind of breezing through it. So, you know, have that bird's eye view, give yourself some perspective, give yourself some credit. Also along those lines, you know, part of it is as a training cycle, as you get closer to an event, as life goes on, your training may get increasingly difficult, and it's kind of hard to navigate mentally, spiritually, and whatnot. And for me, when you take away judgment and you have that perspective, for me, it's really about understanding, right? The more you understand kind of what's going on physiologically, where you are in your training, basically I'm able to, again, navigate better, but also just kind of be smarter about it, right? I'm learning more about energy systems. You know, I used to fuel on my runs, and this time I was really conscious about fueling on my run, and it felt way different. And understanding like what fueling on your run means. Like, okay, so you want to burn fat and all this stuff, but when you're pushing it, your body's burning glycogen, right? It's burning sugars in your blood, and that's running out. Your muscles are running out of energy. So that's why runners fuel on their run, and to do it systematically, to not wait till you're totally assed out. Because again, once your muscles start hurting, injuries and all these other things, and the mental negative thought spiral kicks in. So I was fueling myself on a timer, and it felt great. I should have had more water, but at least I had some electrolytes in my water. But yeah, so again, understanding, and then the other part of that is nothing beats preparation, right? I didn't just, I pushed myself. I haven't been running much, but I've been training hard. So yeah, I did a decent job today. My pace wasn't what I wanted it to be, but I did a nice 10.5. Perceived exertion was not too bad. My pace was a little lower than I would have liked, but hey, I'll take it. You know, live to fight another day. But yeah, so peace and love, perspective, understanding, pace yourself, be kind to yourself, be prepared, love, keep training, keep showing up, let me know what questions you have, and yeah, enjoy this existence. Love you, peace.